All right, we in the house? It looked like we here. Okay.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold. Please enter your.
All right, let's get it.
Thank you. Please, please enter your.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Entry and exit tones are off. All participants are muted.
Okay. Finally. All right, here we go. Good morning, millionaires. How's everybody feeling this morning? My name is Haziq Ali, and I am a revenue acceleration expert. That means our whole goal is to help you make more money with your business. This upcoming Thursday, we have an insanely good masterclass that you're going to love. I'm going to tell you more about that in a couple minutes. But right now, I want to remind you that it is time for you to check in, man. Rep your city. We want to know what kind of cities in America and around the world we got friends in. We always down for, knowing where we could get a meal. Who's cooking when we pull up to your town? No, I'm just playing. Who got a spare bedroom for us? We want to know where our family at. Ain't that right, Daryl? Yeah, what's up, Yuli? Glad you made it in this morning. Kay Wright is in the house. Let's go. My man Eric. Happy New Year, cuz. Glad you made it in. Yeah, let Will and Ty the summer know what's up. Jasmine, glad you made it in this morning, Queen. What's up, Dennis? My man D Money is in the house. Hey, do me a favor, share this with somebody. Okay, then, Paul. Let's go. Let's go, Paul. What's up, Chanel? Chanel made it in this morning. Okay, we got Murfreesboro, Tennessee in the house. Somebody checking in on the live line. Yeah, tell Dr. A to get here, Kay. Let her know what's up. Hey, share this with a couple of Facebook Messenger groups. What's up, Yahura? Glad you made it in this morning. Farmingdale, New York is in the house. You know what that means? That means my man Mark Arnold is up in here. Gloss Boss Rika is in the building. What's up, Sharice? I'm glad you made it in this morning. Let's go. Miss Mandy's in the house. All right, all right. Let's go. Let's go crystal clear. Let's get it. Somebody let them know we here. Corey Hester is in here. That's what I'm talking about, cousin. All right, so some of you know, some of you don't. If this is your first time ever tuning in with us, I'm gonna hip you to our little schedule. I shouldn't have said little. I'm gonna hip you to our schedule, right? Every single Monday we focus on mindset because I believe you got to be before you'll do before you, right? Then every Tuesday we focus on nothing but sales tips. Why? Because don't not move till somebody sells something. You dig it? Every Wednesday is all about marketing. We always say that men are natural salesmen, but women are natural marketers. You'll get that later. But men hunt and gather. I'm gonna tell you what women do. They attract. The motto of every woman on the planet is why chase the bees when you could build a garden and attract. You know what I'm saying? That's marketing. And every Wednesday we talk about marketing. Every Thursday it's all about leadership. Maybe you've heard me say it before, but I truly believe that every problem in society is really a problem of leadership. And so that's what we talk about every Thursday. And then every Friday is Free Coaching Friday. But check it out, y'all. Today is Monday. So it's all about mindset. What I gathered up for you today was five of my mentors from afar and their best thoughts that I could find on mindset. You feel me, Damon? Because if we ain't got mindset, we ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Michael Douglas, Ken Washington in the house. If we ain't got mindset, somebody say it all starts with mindset. And then share this with somebody. It all starts with mindset. And then share this with somebody. Because if you ask any of the top entrepreneurs on the planet, matter of fact, if you ask any entrepreneur, they're going to tell you that the one quality that you need to be successful in this crazy world is mental toughness. Somebody say it all starts with mindset. I don't know how many of y'all saw my TED Talk. Any of y'all checked out my TED Talk before? I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's pretty hardcore. You know what I mean? If what you're interested in is fixing your mindset, I need you to understand Being mentally tough is something you probably heard about before in your life. It's something that seems easy, but a lot of people take it for granted. They'd rather think about it than become it. You know what I mean? Like I put up this post on Facebook the other day where I was like, which one's more important to you? Hearing about the blind spots or having the blind spots? Which one hurts you the most? Hearing about your blind spots or having blind spots? It's an important question because most people are playing status games. Most people's mental weakness comes from the fact that they're playing status games. This is one of my favorite questions for you to ask yourself if you want to see if you're playing status games. Because if you answer this question incorrectly, then what it means is we got a lot more work to do on your mindset to help you create mental toughness. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Now, check it out. Would you rather be the world's best lover and have everybody think you were the worst? Or would you rather be the world's worst lover but have everybody think you're the best? Which would you prefer? Let me see it in the comments. Anybody feel like playing along? Let me see it in the comments. Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer to be the best or would you prefer to be the worst? Right? Would you prefer to be the best and have everybody think you're the worst? Or would you prefer to be the worst and have everybody think you're the best? Appreciate that, Jasmine. No, we ain't need that up still. Which one, y'all? Isn't that a hell of a question? Isn't that a hell of a question? Right? Which one? Which one? Then it's like he'd rather be the best and have everybody think he the worst. You know what I mean? Jasmine's like she'd rather be the best and have everybody. Brandon said, "All right now, okay." Tamron, all right, all right. Isn't that an interesting question though? Don't you find that to be kind of an interesting question, Tasha? Like, yo, a lot of people are playing mind games with themselves, but they're playing it in the wrong direction. A lot of people are playing status games. Am I right, Michael Douglas? They're playing the games in the wrong direction. See, there's a difference between thinking you're mentally tough and living mentally tough day in and day out. If you could actually have a life where you're the best, but everybody thinks you're the worst, my friend, maybe, just maybe, you're more mentally tough than you're giving yourself credit for. And mental toughness is a jewel, man. You're only going to get into rougher and more difficult situations as you climb this mountain. There's never any escape. Either you're gonna become a shield or it's gonna knock your behind down and you ain't gonna be able to recover. When you think about all the challenges that are in front of you today, I want you to remember that God sometimes gives you your best gifts inside the ugliest wrapping paper. You hear me? On the other side of that valley is victory. On the other side of that grief is goodness. That's the way Bishop put it. You know what I'm saying? But that only happens if you become mentally tough. Now, we all know we need to become mentally tough. I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all ready to get to the reason for the season? So what I'm gonna do is we all want to know how exactly we become more mentally tough. I'm gonna give you 5 different of my mentors from afar and what they say about mental toughness. The first one is my man Tony Robbins. Somebody give it to me in the comments because these are people you should Google. Tony Robbins, right? Tony Robbins. He's the icon of all icons when it comes to personal development. Tony Robbins. Yes, Amaya, glad you made it in this morning. Let's go. Let's go. Tony Robbins. According to Tony Robbins, his take on mental toughness is simple. He says that being mentally tougher is like lifting weights. Over time, you've got to become stronger. See, nobody starts off in the gym with this amazing physique. Why? Because it happens over time. You hear me? But becoming mentally stronger is more than just becoming stronger. It's linking your pain and your pleasure together. I was telling one of my mentees the other day that the same exact situation that makes one person feel like it is an obstacle is for the other person an accelerator. But it all starts with your mindset. You see what I'm saying? You got to link your pain and your pleasure. If you feel more pain than pleasure, then you're not going to perform the action. But if you derive pleasure from a certain action, then you'll take that action. The more action you take, the more mentally tough you'll become. But the good news I'm bringing to you this morning is you're the one that decides whether it's painful or whether it's pleasure. See, the reason that I get hyped when stuff gets hard is because I get pleasure from the fact this is when they're going to quit. Most people try to avoid pain. I decided to embrace it. They'd rather live an average life than they would take risks, right? But see, what I decided is that I'd rather hear the word no. That way, I ain't got to end up saying the word no to everybody, right? I'd rather hear it. I'd rather go through the numbers, have people tell me no as I climb my way to the top of that money mountain. You hear what I'm saying? As I climb myself to the top of Impact Mountain, as I climb myself to the top of Legendary Mountain, where somebody's going to talk about me one day, right? I climb myself to the top of my legacy because I know my children looking at me. I know my friends are looking at me. I know my coworkers are learning from my example, or they are learning what not to do because I'm a warning. So we're all scared. We're all trying to avoid pain. All I'm simply suggesting to you this morning is that you set yourself up to avoid the long term pain, not the short term pain. Am I making sense? You need to stop and think about what's stopping you from taking action. It's almost always a place you'll hit where you believe that when you take that action, you're going to receive more pain than pleasure. I guarantee you that's why you're procrastinating at the end of the day. You are focused more on the anxiety of the result you don't want than you are the anticipation of the result that you would die for. You hear what I'm saying to you? How do you think about procrastination, millionaire? You're giving up your mental freedom. Are you thinking of it that way? You're giving in to pleasure because you only procrastinate when you're trying to avoid pain. Here's what Grant Cardone says. If you're ready for the next one, give me Grant Cardone. Give me Grant Cardone. Give me Grant Cardone if you're ready for the next one. Y'all still with me? I ain't going too fast, right? I told you what my man Tony Robbins said. This is Grant Cardone. Now, Grant Cardone is more like a real estate guy, but he's a real heavy mindset guy. You're not going to get to the top of some of these pyramids without you. Yeah, Raheem, you ain't going to get to the top of some of these pyramids joking around. It'll never work. It'll never work. What's up, Dr. Nina? My man Allen in the house. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Miss Hawkins. Yeah, a lot of love trucking in the house. Let's get it. Raheem Shabazz. Okay. All right, so here's what my man Grant Cardone had to say about it. Grant Cardone, yeah, Mr. Be obsessed or be forgotten, I think is his joint. What's his phrase? Somebody know Grant Cardone's phrase? This sound like be obsessed or be forgotten. I think that's it. But according to Grant Cardone, y'all, becoming mentally tough always starts with courage. If I could sum up his philosophy, it's the courage philosophy, where people believe that courage means you don't feel fear, when actually courage means you feel the fear and you do it anyway. Everybody has more courage than they think. Everybody has the courage to live the best life possible, but the majority of us don't want to take advantage of it. We'd rather play it safe than absorb more pain. We'd rather play it safe because we think we can slide safely into our tombstone at the end of this game. Listen to me, you already got courage. I can prove it to you because courage comes from the heart, it's innate. The whole idea that you love something means that you got courage about it. You know what I can you know what I can tell you for sure? I can tell you for sure that if something was happening to one of the people that you love the most, you get the courage real quick to fix that situation. You hear me? It's there. You just got to harness that power. When you become mentally tough, millionaire, you're giving yourself the ability to risk it all. You're giving yourself the ability to conceptualize, yo, what if it don't all work out? So what? I'm going to learn from it, but I ain't letting it go down like that. You hear me? That's courage coming from not a, willpower. It's coming from a why power. You ain't got to overcomplicate it, baby. Be something today in spite of the fear you feel. You ain't got to complicate it, baby. Ask that girl that you've been thinking about out on the date. Make the phone call to that influencer or that leader that could change your entire business. I know this stuff feels small, but these seemingly small actions is what's going to let you be way more mentally tough. And as you continue to take more risks, you're going to continue to be more proud to be alive. You weren't put here to live average. God wants you to show everybody what it looks like when somebody believes. That's the whole point of faith. Faith is so easy to have when you don't need it. I'm going to tell you, when faith is the hardest to have. It's absolutely critical. It's absolutely life changing. or life saving. You weren't put here to live average. You were put here to take massive risks. You were put here to take massive action, and you were put here to live life to the fullest. Somebody say, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. At a certain point, you got to decide, I'm gonna do what's required, not my best. At a certain point, you got to decide, my best ain't enough. I might have to become somebody different because my best ain't enough. So I know I got to be before I'll do, before I'll have. So I must need to become bigger because I can't just stick with doing my best. I got to do what's required. You see what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Somebody say, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. This mindset Monday or what? I'm gonna do what it takes. My best ain't enough. My best ain't enough. I'm gonna do what's necessary. See what I'm saying? You see the difference there? You gotta say, I did my best. I did my best. Uh, Check it out. Sometimes your best ain't enough. So what you gonna do then? Just give up? Nah, nah. Here's the third one. Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas. Now y'all know Eric Thomas. He the one like you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe. We all know Eric Thomas, right? Well, Eric Thomas, his main idea of mental toughness, if you ask Kazi, is that he says that mental toughness starts with being uncomfortable. That mental toughness starts with being uncomfortable. He always talks about your comfort zone wants to kill you. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Now, this ain't his quote. This is how I sum up his teaching. Somebody give it to me. Your comfort zone wants to kill you. Your comfort zone wants to kill you. And guess what? I agree. Why? Because we nature, and in nature, something can only grow or die. You know what I mean? Something can only grow or die. Hey, check it out. You might look a little bit different from this rose. You know what I'm saying? But just like this rose, this thing is either growing right now or it's dying. That's just like you. You're a rose. I don't care if you're a rose that's planted in soil or if you're a rose that had to bust through the concrete. I know this, you're only growing or dying. I know this. Once you start to get comfortable with your life, you're no longer going to go after your dreams. I know that. I know if you feel content with where you are, you ain't going to push to go no further. I know that. I know that your goal should be to improve every single day, even if it's just a little minuscule amount. You got to get bigger. You got to believe wholeheartedly in your ability to get bigger. You got to believe wholeheartedly in your ability to expand your mind to match that goal so that that goal don't start to shrink to match that mind. Do you know how many people are living for happy hour instead of trying to create a happy life? Huh? You got to believe much bigger. Somebody say, believe bigger. Somebody say, believe bigger. Eric Thomas got a rule. He says he never talked to anybody before 1 p.m. who ain't 120% all in on their dreams. You know that? Well, you know what this does? This allows you to get all that unnecessary negativity out of your life. You know what that does? See, there are millions of people who want to succeed, but they don't. They aren't successful. Why? Because they ain't give everything to achieve their dreams, including giving up well-meaning but underachieving friends, the preachers, the teachers, the parents that fed them these somebody write this in the comments. This is important. Write this in. Your fears become your limits. Your fears become your limits. I think that's important. You should write that in the caption and share this with an entrepreneur because to become more mentally tough in your life, it's going to start with changing your mindset. And then right after that, since you got to be before you'll do, right after that, millionaire, you got to change your routine. If you can get up every morning at the same time, including on the weekend, you can change your whole life. You're going to become mentally tougher. It's a given. You know, maybe you want to check out this book, Miracle Morning. Miracle Morning, Miracle Morning. It might be a good book, especially if you want to create a morning routine for yourself. And the last thing that Eric Thomas says that I'll kick it with you about is that wherever you put your focus, energy flows. Wherever energy flows, energy grows. You hear what I'm saying to you? Whatever you focus on expands. So if you think you can't do something, you're never going to be able to do it. But if you put your focus on achieving a desired outcome, you'll stop at nothing to achieve that outcome, and you're eventually going to achieve it. There is not a problem that can't be solved if you put enough effort into it. Literally anything is impossible. I mean, Literally, the word impossible says, I'm possible. All right then. All right then. Yeah, Margie. That's what we talking about, Margie. Yeah, Valerie. Let's get it. Let's get it. Chanel, give us some of your biggest takeaways from that one. Here's my fourth mentor that I'm gonna kick it with you about Ben Newman. Ben Newman. Yeah, even the word impossible says I'm possible. You see that? All right. What about Ben Newman? Ben Newman. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ben Newman. According to Ben Newman, becoming mentally tough starts with changing how you think, right? For those who don't know, Ben Newman is somebody who works with a lot of professional athletes to help them get their mindset together. 'Cause obviously, when you start talking about professional athletics, you know, this guy runs a 40 and 4.1. This guy right here runs a 40 and 4.1, point 5. The differences are so minuscule between this person winning a gold medal because they crossed the finish line in 13 seconds, and this one winning a silver because they crossed in 12.97. I mean, the differences are so minuscule. So what makes the difference? What makes the difference when you get to these higher realms? Oh, it's mental toughness. It's mental toughness. So this guy Ben Newman would work with all of these athletes, and what he will attest to firsthand is that they can't rely just on their talents. Talent is only going to take you so far. Somebody give me that in the comments. Talent can only take you so far. Talent can talent is overrated. Talent can only take you so far. I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, but talent can only take you so far. What we talking about right now is skill. Somebody feel me? We talking about skill right now, baby. Talent can only take you so far. You with me? Right now, we're talking about skill. And this is what I want you to understand. If you're going to change the way you think, if you're going to build the skills to change your self esteem, you got to start reframing. Y'all know that word? Are y'all familiar? Reframing. Reframing. Let's go. If you're up against a competitor, I don't care if it's business or sports, are you going to give up? Even if they've always been better than you? You shouldn't, because that's what losers do. I don't know how many of you saw this Cat Williams interview, right? But to me, Cat Williams is a perfect example of changing the way you think. If you saw this interview, you saw numerous, there's so many lessons that I could teach just based on me watching that Cat Williams, right? I meant the fact that it's a marketing coup that he pulled off because here he is starting off on another tour, and yet again, he ain't gonna need no flyers and no marketing budget, et cetera, and so forth. My goodness, that crazy Kanye interview from a couple years ago is just hitting 10 million views, right? Do you know this thing is already at 30 million views in like 5 days? But back to my point. Here's the coldest thing he talked about. He said when he was sitting there at the bottom of the comedy totem pole, and he decided that he wanted to be known as one of the greats, he wrote down the 300 black comedians that were more well known than him. And then what he said to himself was that he was going to watch each of their shows 10 times, and he was going to count the laughs. So if they got a 30-minute set, he knows they got this many laughs. And then he would cross them out one by one as he became better than them, right? How did he judge how better they was? He was like, yo, if you did your 20-minute set and you got 6 laughs, and then I did my 20-minute set and I got 16, I'm 3 times better than you, boy. And then y'all remember this part right here? That's thinking different. That's thinking different. He reframed his mindset. Do you want to be the best? And check it out. This Thursday, I'm doing a special master class. The Kaizen Academy is back in full effect, baby. And so this Thursday, I'm doing a special free master class. It's going to be this Thursday at 8 p.m. All you have to do to be enrolled in this weekend's master class, which is called How to Join the Top 1% of any company that sells something. Any company that sells something. I don't care what you sell. How to join the top 1% of any company that sells something. 7 simple steps to leave the 99% behind. 7 simple steps. Somebody give me that in the comment. 7 simple steps to leave the 99% behind. You can come to the class absolutely free. You just need to be on the email list. So go to millionaireminded.com, put yourself on an email list, and you're really going to enjoy this. But back to my point about leaving the 1%. That's how Cat Williams did it. To change the way you think, You got to reframe your mindset. If you're up against a competitor, you got to do it like Cat Williams. I don't care if it's business or in sports. Are you going to give up just because they're better right now? Check this out, man. Start to focus on solutions instead of problems. And that whole idea I just gave you about Cat Williams is what we mean when you hear the best say, if you will clearly define the problem, it's already 80% solved. If you will just clearly define the problem, you've already solved 80% of it. Most people don't focus on solution though. People complain all the time. Why? Because it's easier. That's why. You want to be mentally tough, you can't do the easy thing. You got to become rare. It's too easy to do the easy thing. You need to be a rare breed. You got to be somebody who, it don't matter how much adversity they face, they're going to keep on taking on the fight. Here's the last mentor I got from you, for you, my man Patrick Bet David. What he always says is that it starts with the voices inside. It don't matter who you are. We all have these good voices inside and we got bad voices inside. And if we want to be mentally tough, then we got to block out the bad voice. And then when you sense it, you got to catch that joint like, oh, snap, I just hated on myself. And then you got to push through. That's the only way you can catch that joint. You gotta catch it and then release it. Like a fisherman for sport. You know what I mean? Like you out there fishing, you don't like this fish, you know. What we do is we put that joint back. That's what you gotta start doing with these crazy thoughts you had. Everybody needs a purpose. If not, you're not going to be able to overpower that dumb voice, that inner me, which turns out to be the inner me. No civilization is destroyed from the outside until they destroy themselves from within. Maybe it's time for us to get a stronger why, right? So we don't give in to everyday temptations, but we could keep on pushing, right? At the end of the day, that's what developing mental toughness means. It means you push yourself further than even what you thought was possible. And the last piece of advice that Patrick Bet David would give is that you got to think about how you'll feel if you don't go after your dreams, right? It's Monday, baby. You got another chance to do this right. Think about the worst case scenario. How are you going to feel if you don't go after your dreams? You think you're going to be more happy because you said, man, at least I ain't had to, feel no rejection. Is that that's how you feel? Oh my God. Millionaires. I guarantee you it'll be quite the contrary. I guarantee you that if you do not embrace life right now, while you're the youngest you're ever going to be, you're going to blow it. You have the option every day. You have the choices every single day to do the contrary, to be above average, to be extraordinary. As my mentor says, it's just putting a little extra with the ordinary. I want you to understand, y'all, no matter which of these 5 mentors that you rocked with the best, right? Maybe you like Tony Robbins, Ben Newman, maybe you preferred Eric Thomas, maybe you like Grant Cardone's advice better, or maybe you like number 5, Patrick Bet David. But here's what I know. If you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it because you're mentally tough. Drop some money bags if you felt that, if you learned something you're gonna use. Now we're gonna take it over here to Instagram. Yeah, Amy, let them know. People do suck. People do suck. It's true. All right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You knew he was gonna shout out Mr. Brown. All right, let's go. All right, now we're gonna meet over here on Instagram and say our affirmations. So meet us over there. My Instagram is Mr. Hazik Ali. So if you want to come do your affirmations, that will help you with mental toughness as well. So come rock with us. And remember, either your mind has to expand to match your goals, or your goals will just start to shrink to match your mind. Mr. Hazik Ali on Instagram. I'll meet y'all over there right now.